crashes quite soon, I would say. Which I'm not quite sure where it was the problem, like where the problem was. It will be quite a lot of debugging. Find that. But yeah, let's start again. Probably, maybe we crash again. I don't know. But yeah, the idea would be primitives. Let's do a cube. 50, 20, and that works. So the first couple of edits work, but then we kind of die, which I'm not quite sure yet why, but we will find out why that happens. Yeah, the third one actually crashes, which is interesting. I wonder why. Why exactly the third one? Would that make any sense? Ring buff for clear. Maybe it's because we are reusing. No, we shouldn't be reusing them, right? So that is this part. And we always create new ones. So we would always do that. Maybe I'm allowed to actually do the trends, like the graphics API. Let's try one more thing before we call it a day. Which is here we add as well the indirect. Because all those three, I think I am using more or less at the same time. Maybe the conditioner was the problem. Let's see what that does. Unfortunate, that really doesn't work. He really doesn't like that. For some reason, that one is really not something that mixes well with the rest. not quite sure why that would be the case. But okay. Something to investigate for tomorrow, I guess. I guess that one can go away again. It would be something like that, right? Storage, indirect, and device address. But yeah, for some reason, it doesn't really like that. I wonder why though. When we do the init. Okay, maybe not that. Usage flags. So we do that. I think the writable flag is actually garbage, not gonna lie. I think that should go away. What is that flag? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, I guess it doesn't really work then. But there's as well the valid, like the synchronization error that we have. Maybe we look at all of that tomorrow, fixing those bugs before moving forward, because those are quite annoying. And for that we might go back to the like the old flow. And then we add the transient. Maybe that makes more sense. Because we still have the issue that, well, let's see what render doc now actually does. Now that we have the transient kind of working. It doesn't work at all. Ah, wait, yeah, that makes sense because we changed one thing, which broke it, right? Which is those we need to do manually. And then let's see, does that already work? If that works, it's kind of weird. that works. I'm a little bit sus now. But yeah, okay, yeah, that still doesn't work. And then we crash the third time. Okay. I will call it a day for today. We will look at that tomorrow. So the issue is, why does RenderDoc not work? Why is RenderDoc not updating the terrain as we do when we do the normal run? And once we have figured that out, maybe the other problem just disappears. Because it might be something related to the yeah, some synchronization issue that we have somewhere. So yeah, let's try that and then we go from there. Thank you very much for joining though. I will be back tomorrow. Probably around 12 or something like that, because I don't have work tomorrow, as I already said last week. We will be streaming Mondays now during the day. And it should be longer streams for 3-4 hours, something like that. Let's see. And the plan is to get the terrain finished in October. It will be tight, but I hope to finish it so that we can get 0.4 of the engine out end of October. And then we need to move on to 0.5, which is a lot of bug fixing and polishing. And we will get back to the terrain eventually, because it's nowhere near being where I want it to be, but at some point we have to say it's good enough for now. Because otherwise I could spend years working on it. Because it's always stuff that I would want to try and iterate and stuff like that. And we are close to the first version. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your Sunday, and I hope to see some of you tomorrow. Bye bye. We got a lot closer to the transient buffers. They kind of work. Just need to figure out some additional stuff that's not correctly yet working with the barriers, probably sync barriers. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.